Hello and welcome to The Thinking Mind. In a world full of noise, this podcast is a space for thoughtful reflection. Each episode explores questions about life, learning, success, failure, relationships, and personal growth. There are no simple formulas here and no promises of perfect answers, just ideas, perspectives, and questions worth thinking about. Today's episode is called Why Smart People Sometimes Fail. Let's begin. Most of us grow up believing a simple idea. If you're smart, you'll succeed. If you get good grades, understand things quickly, and perform well in school, life should naturally reward you. At least that's what many people assume. And to some extent, intelligence does matter. It can help us learn faster, solve problems more effectively, and understand complex ideas. But if intelligence alone guaranteed success, the world would look very different. We've all seen examples that challenge this belief. The brilliant student who struggles later in life, the average student who builds a successful career, the talented individual who never reaches their potential. Why does this happen? To answer that question, we first need to understand what intelligence can and cannot do. Intelligence is a tool, a powerful one, but a tool nonetheless. Imagine giving someone the best musical instrument in the world. If they never practice, the instrument alone won't make them a great musician. In the same way, intelligence creates possibilities, but it doesn't automatically create results. One reason highly intelligent people sometimes struggle is that things often come easily to them early in life. They learn quickly. They understand concepts faster than their peers. And because of that, they may not develop certain habits. They may not learn how to persist through difficulty. They may not learn how to deal with failure. They may not learn how to keep going when progress is slow. Then one day they encounter a challenge that cannot be solved through intelligence alone. A difficult career, a complicated relationship, a long-term project, and suddenly they find themselves facing something unfamiliar. Struggle. Meanwhile, someone else may have spent years developing persistence. They've learned how to work through frustration, how to stay disciplined, how to continue even when motivation disappears. Those skills may not seem impressive at first, but over time, they become incredibly valuable. Another reason smart people sometimes fail is overthinking. Intelligent minds are often capable of seeing many possibilities, many risks, many potential outcomes. This can be useful, but it can also become a trap. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One person chooses a direction and begins walking. Another spends hours analyzing every possible path, every possible mistake, every possible consequence. Who is more likely to make progress? Not necessarily the person with the better analysis. Sometimes it's the person willing to move forward despite uncertainty. Many opportunities in life require action before certainty. Waiting until every question has been answered can lead to endless delay. In this way, intelligence can occasionally create hesitation rather than progress. There is also the issue of ego. When people become known for being smart, they sometimes begin protecting that identity. They avoid situations where they might fail. They avoid looking inexperienced. They avoid taking risks that could damage their image. Ironically, this desire to appear intelligent can prevent growth, because growth often requires looking foolish at first. Every expert was once a beginner. Every skilled speaker once stumbled over their words. Every successful entrepreneur once made mistakes. Learning requires humility, and humility is not always easy, especially when others expect you to be the smartest person in the room. Now let's look at the other side of the story. Why do some seemingly average people achieve extraordinary things? One possible reason is consistency. Many successful individuals are not the most talented. They are simply the most consistent. They show up repeatedly, day after day, month after month, year after year. While others rely on motivation, they rely on habits. While others wait for perfect conditions, they begin with what they have. This may sound ordinary, but consistency has a remarkable effect. Small improvements compound over time. A person who improves by just 1% each day may not seem impressive initially, but after years of effort, the difference becomes enormous. Another factor is adaptability. The world changes constantly. Technology changes, industries change, opportunities change. People who succeed often have a willingness to learn and adapt. They are not attached to always being right. They are willing to change their minds when new information appears. In many situations, adaptability is more useful than raw intelligence. After all, knowing the answer is helpful, but being willing to learn a new answer may be even more valuable. Perhaps the biggest lesson is this: success is rarely determined by a single quality, not intelligence, not talent, not luck, not hard work. Most outcomes are shaped by a combination of factors: discipline, persistence, emotional resilience, relationships, opportunity, timing, and yes, intelligence too. But intelligence is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. As we come to the end of today's episode, it's worth asking ourselves a simple question. What qualities are we developing besides intelligence? Are we learning patience? Are we building discipline? Are we becoming more resilient? Because life often rewards more than knowledge alone. It rewards the ability to keep moving forward when things become difficult. And perhaps that's why some of the most successful people are not necessarily the smartest people in the room. They are simply the ones who continue long after others have stopped. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this episode gave you something to think about, feel free to follow the podcast and share it with someone who might enjoy it as well. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep learning, and keep thinking. This is the Thinking Mind.